Hello, I am Anirudh and I am here in Vizag after covering the Australia versus Bangladesh league stage match of the Women's World Cup. It was a cracker of a match and the best possible way to end my Vizag stint of the World Cup. For the second consecutive match, Alisa Healy hit a century and guided her team home. Although the one against India was a bit more of a struggle, if you can call it that, than what happened today against Bangladesh. Uh, and that is what we're going to talk about today, the 10 wicket win against Bangladesh. The three major talking points from this match. The first one, and not something we usually discuss when we come to the Australian team, is the fielding, rather the fumbles in the field. They were uncharacteristically sloppy in the field, which is something that Alana King and Healy spoke about after the match, also saying they need to address it. They dropped as many as 6 catches, but in the grand scheme of things, yes, they registered a 10 wicket win uh, in less than 25 overs. But had they held on to those catches, it would have been an even more impressive win if that's possible. And the other thing that they quote unquote went wrong would be the number of runs they conceded in the end. Uh, Possibly about 28 runs were conceded in the last 3 overs, much to the fascination of the 100 odd people who were there. They were very happy to see your a so-called small team manage to get some runs on the board and then creep towards 200, which they didn't manage to, finished on 198. But again, that is something that Australia will want to improve on with matches against England coming up next in indoor. And to be fair, Bangladesh also were not that great on the field, which they haven't been for a couple of matches now. They dropped Phoebe Litchfield and Healy once each. Sure, in the end, the result would not have mattered, but maybe considering their bowlers were not getting as much from the surface as the Australians did, maybe it would have given them that confidence boost to take the attack to the Australian batters. But in the end, yeah, like I said, it didn't matter. The other point that we just spoke about is the performance of the bowlers. Bangladesh has managed to, in this World Cup, disrupt batting orders, even the strongest of ones, including England most recently. So, for once, it is their bowlers who let the team down. Let the team down would probably be a very strong word to use, but in the end, when you compare with the way the Australian bowlers navigated the innings, you would have expected the Bangladesh spinners to get a lot more. Take for example somebody like Alana King. She got a lot from the surface. The ball was zipping left and right, so much so that Healy behind the stumps was not able to judge the movement of the ball initially. And it's not something that they were prepared for also, because King spoke after the match and said that she was surprised with how much the ball was turning on the pitch. Without a single wicket being picked, it would not do their confidence a world of good, especially considering how well they have bowled over the course of the tournament. Australia will be very happy with this, the way they managed to navigate the spinners, the Bangladeshi spinners. The other talking point for Bangladesh will be the two missing best performing talents, Nahida and Marufa. Nahida was out injured, Marufa was rested. The reason being too much workload, and they wanted to keep her fresh for the next game. Now, considering Australia is the biggest team of the tournament, and this they managed to get a lot from the same from a similar pitch here in Vizag a couple of days ago against South Africa. Was that decision something that they will, in hindsight, regret it? Only their team meetings will tell. But from an outside perspective, it did look like a missed opportunity for Bangladesh by resting Marufa. A special mention to Shobna and Jelik, the two Bangladeshi batters who managed to navigate a very strong Australian attack and put some crucial runs on the board to take the team to 198, which, while still below par, it would have been a lot worse without their innings. Shobna, especially in the end, with wickets falling on the other side, she stuck to the brief very well and stayed put till the end to ensure that the Bangladeshi bowlers had something on the board to defend. In the end, however, Australia does what it does best. They seal the match despite their initial hiccups, and it wasn't just a win that they sealed, but they are now in the semi-finals of the World Cup with a couple of games to spare. Possibly this is when they can start resting some of these regular players and ensure that they remain fresh for the knockouts. But that's is something that we'll wait and watch, especially with the game against England coming up. Next up in the World Cup is Sri Lanka's clash with South Africa in Colombo. Will rain play havoc again, or will co-host Sri Lanka finally get off the mark and get their first win of this tournament? For all updates, follow Sportstar.